One of the things that guys have trouble with, and women have trouble with as well, actually, is the notion of a sexual marketplace. The idea that dating is a marketplace, okay? And appropriately enough, in order to make this video, I'm walking through a marketplace in Istanbul. We're quite near to the Grand Bazaar, and you can see some of the stall holders on either side of me as I walk down. So, is it wrong to think about dating, to think about sex, to think about romance and love, for God's sake? You know, are we just saying it's a marketplace? That sounds terribly unromantic. That sounds very cynical. It sounds almost nihilistic. You know, we are to break down what is the most important thing really in human existence. That is to say, our coupling with somebody else and, you know, procreating, if that's what you want to do. Are we to just narrow that down to being a marketplace, like any other marketplace, like some kind of economic entity or some kind of economic instrument, if you like the Dow Jones or something? Is that what we're saying? And is that really true? Or is that just a horrible and possibly dangerously unpolitically correct thing to say? I don't really think it is. I mean, I have always regarded dating and sex and romance, not romance, that's the wrong word to use, but I've always regarded these things as being really having the same attributes as a marketplace. I recognised this very, very early on when I was in my early 20s, before I got into any of the, there wasn't even really such a thing as, there certainly wasn't such a thing as an internet, but before I got into any of the dating skill stuff, really, I was aware, painfully aware, that there was a marketplace here. When I was going to clubs in Manchester, I would go out and look around me, and I recognised intuitively, you don't have to be a genius to figure this out, that you have certain tokens that you're bringing to the party in terms of your attractiveness to the opposite sex, right? So there's how you look, there's probably height as well, the height pill, how tall you are, but there is also, you know, your social acumen, your ability to command attention, your ability to hold the attention of a girl or a group of women or whatever it is. You know, there are things like, okay, so what status symbols do you have? What are you wearing? Okay, are you wearing some cool clothes? You know, I used to be very, and I'm not so bothered about this now, but I used to be very bothered about designer clothes and wearing the right clothes, because I thought that would be impressive to women. Now, to some extent, it is somewhat impressive to some women. I don't think you can hang your hat on just wearing designer clothes and that's going to sort everything out, because obviously that's not the case. But, you know, it points to a bigger truth, which is that, yes, status cues are very important, okay? What else is there? Well, if you're traveling to foreign countries, it might be the country that you're from, okay? She might find that interesting. It might be things like your physicality, all right? Your physical strength, your physical size. It might be your ability to protect, okay? There's all of these different things that you're bringing, as if you're going to a casino and you're putting your chips down on the table, okay? And she is also bringing chips to the table as well. She's bringing chips like her beauty, her femininity, her personality, her intelligence, her charm, how fun she is to be with, her interests. All of these different things, her physicality, all right? She's bringing all of these things to the table as well. And there is a form of negotiation that happens. Now, it's not a bartering sort of negotiation like you might get here. You're not going to actually sit down and say, well, I've got this and you've got that, so how about we make a deal? And yeah, I don't think I've got enough tokens for a full-on commitment, but I can certainly afford a one-night stand. So how about it? I mean, obviously it doesn't work like that, and you would be thrown out of, well, probably thrown out of the country if you attempt to do that. But there is a covert sort of bartering going on, and I mean, what happens is basically, if you don't make the grade, or the way that she perceives you don't make the grade, then you're just not given a look in. That's how the negotiation goes. Okay, and this is why first impressions, by the way, are so important, because you've got to really showcase your value up front very quickly to ensure that you're in the running for intimacy at all. Okay. But it seems to me pretty obvious that this is a marketplace, or it operates in the same manner as a marketplace does. And a very easy tell for that is the fact that there's this notion of leagues in common mainstream parlance, right? People talk about leagues. She's out of your league. Or no, he's not in. I'm not in his league. I'm not in her league. Whatever, right? This is a very common phrase. It's part of the consciousness in the Western world. Okay. Well, if there are such a thing as leagues, then it means that covertly we have accepted the fact that some people match up to other people and other people don't match up to them. You know, they don't have enough chips on the table to be in the secondary person's league, okay? So that in itself is a covert admission by mainstream society that this operates as a marketplace. Now, in saying that, I would now completely ignore anything about leagues, because you should be going for people that you find attractive. You shouldn't be rejecting yourself before they have the chance to reject you, okay? You know, you want to be thinking, okay, well, I find her attractive, I'm going to go and have a conversation. It's up to her to decide whether I'm in her league or not, because a lot of this stuff, despite what people say online, a lot of this stuff is subjective, and, you know, particularly if you're in a foreign country, leagues sort of go out the window a bit, because you're going to get buy-in. Be quiet now. You're going to get buy-in from, you know, if you're in the right country and you're from somewhere where she finds interesting, you're going to get buy-in from women who are significantly more objectively attractive than you might have done in your own country. Okay, so that plays into it as well. But in general, just this acceptance, or this notion that there's such a thing as leagues, really underlines the fact that this is a marketplace and this operates as a marketplace. You need to bring certain value to the table, and other people bring value to the table as well. And if that value doesn't match up, then you're unlikely to be selected for dating by that particular woman, okay? And we all know this on some sort of intuitive level. The only reason there's any question around this at all is because it's an ugly truth, right? It's not very pleasant to think about, because what we want to think, because we are modern, forward-thinking, you know, people who like to be nice to each other, what we would prefer to think is that actually love conquers all, and you don't need to have, you know, any particular, you know, if your personality is right, she's going to see you for the real you, and she's just going to fall in love with you, and it's all going to be great. But of course, really, on a visceral level, we all know that's not true, okay? It does operate like a marketplace. That's just how it is. It's not particularly a bad thing. All it means is, you know, firstly, be aware of it. Don't get angry about it. Be aware of it, and then do everything you can to improve your value. This is what this comes down to. I mean, there's no point in moaning about it. There's no point in saying it's not fair and all the rest of it. I mean, you can do that if you want. It's a free country. Do what you like. But the best strategy, in my view, is to accept the fact that we operate in a marketplace and to level up. At the same time, don't get too hung up on leagues, because there is a level of subjectivity around this stuff. We can't rule that out. We can't pretend that's not there either, because that's also unrealistic. But ultimately, the best form of dating advice is self-improvement, okay? You know, because however you market the product, you being the product, the marketing being the game, the social skills, however you market the product, if the product is a bit crap, then people aren't going to buy it, okay? And it really is as simple as that. So look, a little bit busy here now, as you can see, down the winding Istanbul streets. Very, very crazy city, very interesting city. Love it a lot. So look, if you want to find out more about this stuff, if you want to maybe discuss your own situation with me, a seasoned pro in the game, you know, I've been around this stuff for a long time now. Lots of experience training other guys as well. If you want to jump on a call and discuss where you are and see if I can help you, then you can do that for free. There's a link below. Just click and make an appointment in my calendar to do that, and we can have a chat. And apart from that, subscribe to the channel and grab my books, Renegade Dating Blueprint, collection of 11 books. You'll see the link below to that as well. And I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.